Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust, from the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty. This is the show that will help you save and make the most money when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty of Florida, Rick Kendrick.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Rick Kendrick, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty show here. We had a pretty good week. We took a day off and went to the beach. We went to our favorite little place, which was Peanut Island, and our little dog tackled the big dogs, didn't he?
Absolutely. It's a great place to go whenever there's a full moon out, because the sandbar is out there for hours.
It's great to be living in paradise. So anyway, our show today is why 3/4 of the home sellers do not get the price they want for their home. But before we go over that, I got some great news for you here. Palm Beach County just printed out some very interesting data for this year. I'd like to go over it real quick if we can. The Palm Beach County housing market, that's what we kind of focus in on in particular. You know, you got to forget the national headline news, right? We all know that the real estate market is a hyper-local market. I'm going to take you through some local data here. Probably will enlighten our listeners a little bit more on how Palm Beach County is doing relative to what's happening on a national level. You'd be surprised at what's happening here. Here's number one, average sales price. So if you were to take June of last year, 2022, the average sale price was $819,647. This year, in June of 2023, it went down to $810,672. But realize that's like a 1% decrease. Now, what you hear on the national news, obviously, is really nothing like this. Okay, there's a little bit more drastic the way they're painting the picture. Is that right, Karey?
Absolutely, for sure.
If you look at the average sales price in Palm Beach County over the years, in reality, our sales values have been going up on an ongoing basis. In fact, in June of last year, 2022, the average hit a peak of $819,000. But believe it or not, the average sales price in May of 2023, this year, hit a peak, the highest ever, of $834,000. Now, when you take that, you can honestly say that the prices are gradually moving up. You don't want extremes, but you want them to be going up gradually. So this doesn't really sound like to me that the market is collapsing. Is it to you?
No, it isn't. And again, what's coming into play here is just still the lack of inventory that we have in the market.
True. And we're going to cover that in a minute. So let's go to the next step that I thought was pretty interesting. Now, when you talk about prices, let's talk about medium sales price, which has gone up from June of 2022 to $454,000 to June of 23, which was $488,000. Now, the median home sales price, what is that, Karey?
So the average home sales price, okay, we actually monitor both, okay, because again, we're looking for trends here. But what the median sales price is it's basically like a better indicator of what the typical home is selling for in a marketplace. And it's not necessarily affected by any like extreme outliers that you might have.
So it's pretty interesting. So the average sales price went down 1%, that the median sales price went up 7%. So as you can see, there's some mixed views there, what's happening into the market. Like you said, sometimes it's relative to the inventories. Now, earlier today, we were talking about days on the market. And before we get into the numbers of days on the market, kind of tell me exactly the definition of days on the market, because some people have a misconception of what they say when you put the house on the market till it closes.
The days on the market actually is calculated based upon when the home goes on the market and when it goes under contract.
Okay, so when it goes on the market, that's when the clock starts to tick. And then when it actually goes under contract is when the clock stops. Even though it takes another 20 to 30 days to close, we're not counting that time, right?
Right.
So in June of 2022, there was a lot of things going on. Interest rates were pretty cool. They were down at a very reasonable rate. We had a lot of buyers out there. There was only 24 days that the house was on the market. Now, in June of 2023, days on the market's hit 52 days. Now, relatively speaking, okay, if you were to look back in June of 2019, days on the market for a home, which was about a 6-month inventory then, was 80 days on the market. So really, when you look at on days on the market, we're really not that bad. It's about 117% increase, but still, days on the market relative to June of 2019, 80 days, and what it is right now, 52 days, is really not bad at all. Now, we all know transactions are down, and inventories are still very low. But the factor is that relatively to the national market, sales really look good in the Palm Beach County area. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you were talking about earlier, Karey, about inventories. When we talk about low inventories, there's multiple reasons why inventories are down, okay? Believe it or not, 60% of the people who currently bought a house in Palm Beach County bought it with a mortgage less than 4 years ago. So are they really ready to sell yet?
Well, there's no motivation to sell in their mind because they have such great interest rates, right? So their concern is if they do sell, the interest rate's going to be totally different than what they're experiencing right now.
Yeah, they don't want to give up their interest rate, right? And they're still in that process where they're pretty comfortable. They really do not probably have a logical reason why they're going to go ahead and put their place on the market. They got to have a real reason why they want to do that. About 62% of the people have about a 4% or less interest rate today than they did, say, five years ago, 6 years ago. So what I'm saying to you is that that's one of the reasons why, typically speaking, inventories are low. One of the other reasons is really, when you look at it, is insurance. Now, insurance has become a big thing in Florida, and there is a lot of things going on a state level trying to rectify this problem, because when you look at the insurance on homes here in the state of Florida, they're really relatively high according to the national picture. If you were to take the national picture, the average insurance on homes runs about $1,200 a year. Our average insurance runs about $6,000.
Wow.
Here's the thing. A lot of people think the reason why our insurance is high is because of the weather conditions that we have, hurricanes and things of that sort. But believe it or not, the main reason why our insurance and the reason why a lot of companies, insurance companies, are leaving our state is because of insurance fraud. So the factor is that until we rectify this problem about insurance fraud and homeowners, we'll be able to move forward and make our situation a little bit better as far as affordability in the Florida market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, insurance definitely is a huge issue in the state of Florida. In reality, Rick, I believe that you've had a few situations lately where sellers have actually come to you with an interest in potentially selling their condo units because the amount that their assessments are going up or their monthly condo dues are going up is sometimes double as a result of the increase in insurance. And then, of course, having to bring their properties up to code after the collapse of the condo building in Surfside. So that's been an issue as well.
But you could safely say, I mean, two factors that you see that are affecting our market as far as that's concerned. The low inventories are because of people are just not ready to sell because they've had the house as long as they have, and also because of the high cost of, say, insurance and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. But we still continually see a strong market. And I say that respectfully because on the downward pricing of homes, when you look at relative speaking, the median price sale have increased. The average sales price only decreased by 1%. We still show a resilient in this market, particularly in the Palm Beach County area. Typically speaking, Karey, our inventories run about 6 months.
Well, a 6-month inventory level is considered sort of a balanced market. So if you have inventory levels that are below 6 months, then that is commonly referred to as a seller's market. And if you have inventory above a 6-month, okay, that's a buyer's market.
So listeners, what we're saying here is that the market is still very strong and that we're still basically in a seller's market. So after the break, we're going to get into our main topic, 9-step systems to get your home sold fast and for top dollar. If you're thinking about maybe making a move, either selling or buying, give me a call or visit my website, rickhasthebuyers.com. We'll be right back.
To schedule an appointment with Rick Kendrick to help you buy or sell your home, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Rick will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on News Talk 850 WFTL.
So you're thinking about selling your home? May I suggest someone to call who'll get you the best price and sell it in like no time? He's a friend of mine. His name is Rick Kendrick, and he's from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty of Florida. Hi, it's Jennifer. Rick Kendrick is so confident in his marketing system that he guarantees to sell your home at a price and a timeline that you all agree to, or he'll buy it for cash. Dick and Arlene, they lived in West Palm Beach in a country club, but Arlene always wanted to live near the beach. Can't blame her. Well, they found out about Rick through a neighbor who raved about how Rick's marketing system worked in selling his home. So they called Rick, and within 12 days, my friend presented them with an offer that they excitedly accepted because it was 98% of the asking price. Then Rick helped them find that perfect oceanfront condo in Jupiter. Dick and Arlene, so thrilled, they've hired Rick again to help them purchase an investment property. If you need help selling your home, call Rick Kendrick, 561-901-3333, 561-901-3333, or visit rickhasthebuyers.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Rosemary, branch manager at Cross Country Mortgage in Boca Raton. If you're deciding which lender to trust, whether you're purchasing or refinancing, I would love the opportunity to work with you. Over my 20-year career, I've helped close to 10,000 families buy or refinance the place they call home. Despite what you're hearing about interest rates, you might be surprised at what we can do for you. Let's talk. Call or text me at 954-312-3104 or visit rosemarymortgageteam.com.
If you're ready to buy or sell your home and would like to schedule an appointment with Rick, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Now, back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, Rick Kendrick.
Well, welcome back from the break. In this segment, we're going to be talking about the 9-step system to get your home sold fast with top dollar. So, Karey, just talking about probably the biggest thing I know of is the 7 deadly mistakes most home sellers make. What do you think the first one is?
I think we've got a handful here to discuss. We're going to dive into each of these here in a minute. But as an overview, the first one is failing to analyze why they're selling. Second is not preparing their home for the buyer's eye. Third is pricing their homes incorrectly. Selling too hard during showings. Signing a long-term listing agreement without a written performance guarantee, making it too difficult for buyers to get information on your home, and finally, failing to obtain a pre-approval for your next purchase.
So the big question is, why are they selling, right?
Absolutely. The motivation for selling is going to basically determine your whole entire strategy.
That could be a number of things. It could be like you're downsizing, or you're moving up. You got to move somewhere else out of the area. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you're just looking to get the money out of your home, right? That could be one. But that keys into how you're going to set your strategy as far as selling your home. That's probably one of the first questions we ask our sellers when we go and we sit down with them. The big question is why, because then we're able to strategize, put together a plan on how we're going to sell their place, and more importantly, a timetable involved. Because let's just say, Karey, that they have to be in a new town, say in 4 weeks. That puts us in a situation where we have to price it probably at market, a little bit below market, so we can get it sold for them fast and be able to get them out as soon as possible. So doing the homework on pricing, what do you think we ought to do there, Karey?
Yeah, so choosing the sales price of your home or the asking price that you're going to go to market with is an art, okay? You don't want to come out too high and you don't want to come out too low. So you really do need to take into consideration all of the recent sales that have sold in your community and kind of compare that to the condition of your home. What
we do is that right off the bat, we'll walk around our house. We'll give them ideas of what to do and what not to do to get their house prepared. But we give them, at the end there, a free detailed market evaluation. Now, that really is determined on what's selling in their local neighborhood, right? It's based on the size of their house, how many bedrooms, how many baths, and any improvements. So let's say, Karey, they look at Zillow, right? Or they look at Realtor.com. Is that really a true value to their home?
It can be somewhat of a decent estimate, but the reality is still that, these big companies can't see inside of our houses, right? So they don't know what it is that you've done to your home over the years. They don't know the quality of the improvements that you may or may not have done. So let's say you've renovated the kitchen, all right? That needs to be taken into consideration as far as what you're going to be able to get for your home. And then, of course, you do have to really take into consideration what's your competition, right? Is your neighbor's home 3 doors down on the market? If so, we need to make sure that we're competitively priced for them as well.
And they probably, when you look at it, maybe they added a pool, or they probably redid their bathrooms or redid their kitchen, and all those equate to value to them. So sellers really need to do their homework. I know they always come to me when we're sitting there and they go, well, Rick, what do you think the value of your home is? Well, I'll give them a value and I'll say, listen, we're in this price range. As we get closer to putting it on the market, we're going to zero in on that price to make it right. Because really what you're doing is that you got to make sure you're going to be attracting those buyers relative to what the market is doing in the area. So all I can say to you sellers is we will do our homework. I will do my homework before I meet with you. I would say the same thing. You do your homework with that. So, Karey, the big question has always been finding a good real estate agent.
Absolutely. So you need to put a strategy in place to find the best agent that you're going to be able to work with. We always suggest possibly interviewing a few agents, always having a list of questions handy so that whenever somebody is sitting there in your home interviewing for the job of selling it, that you can get some information out of them as far as what is their marketing plan. Okay, what is it that they're going to be doing to keep you informed as to what's happening, right? Like communication is a really big issue, and I think it's the biggest issue as to why folks don't actually go back and use the agent that they've used in the past.
73% of the people say they wouldn't go back to their agent because of that number one issue is poor communication. I would be mindful, Mr. Sellers, of getting an agent that will do it at a reduced fee. Not to say that you can't negotiate that. That isn't meaning they have the experience and the talent to get the maximum price with the least amount of hassle for your house. The other thing is, just because they're nice doesn't mean they have the knowledge to do this and the experience and a strong marketing plan to put together so you are able to get the price that you're looking for. Sometimes agents, I'll tell you this right up front, will say, hey, listen, I don't care what they say the price of their house is. I'm going to go ahead. Whatever they say, I'm going to list it for their price. That's a downfall. That can be a situation where in the long run, it will not help you out. You will not get the business that you're looking for as far as a value of the property. So maximizing your home sales potential.
So this is the appearance of your home, right? We have done a show previously about tips that you can implement to get the most amount of money for your home. But basically preparing it for sale, getting it ready, getting it cleaned up, making sure that the yard is cut and trimmed, that you've cleared all clutter out of the home, all things that are going to make a really big impact, because what you want is when that buyer is walking through the door to be able to visualize themselves in your home. If when they walk in, it's dirty and it's overwhelming with all of your things, sometimes it's difficult for them to see themselves living there. So as much that you can clean up the home, the better off you are in terms of how much money that you're going to be able to get for the home. Also, if they walk in and they see a mess, sometimes in the back of their mind, they're thinking that this home may be more costlier if I were to purchase it than maybe another one that they've looked at, because they're thinking to themselves that the home may not be very well maintained. Like Rick said earlier, he will come into your home. You can give him the tour and he'll point out some inexpensive things that you can do that will make the most impact so that you'll be able to get the most money possible.
So all those factors come into play as far as pricing your home too. You got to make sure not only the curb appeal, but the inside of the house has a lot to offer to the potential buyer going in there. Karey, so making it easier for prospects to get information on your home. What do you think should go with that?
It's sort of like the theory where whenever you walk into the car dealership and the salesperson walks up to you and says, can I help you? And you're like, no, I'm just looking, right? Deep down, you're there because you really have a strong interest in purchasing a car, yet you don't want to be bothered by a salesperson just yet. So if the agent that you've hired to work for you has innovative technology set up, like 800 numbers or text messaging, just creative ways for buyers to get information on your home without feeling like they're going to be hounded by a real estate agent, can be actually very helpful in creating more interest in your property.
We do offer a 24-hour hotline 7 days a week. They can get detailed information on that particular property at any time. So what they have to do essentially is that they'll be driving by the house. We have a sign out. That sign gives them a special identity number for that particular home, or they go on a website and they'll pick up that special identity number, and they're able to get detailed information on the house at that time. But also at the end, they have to provide us their name and telephone number so we can follow up with them. So another thing, Karey, I think was pretty interesting is that we require from all our sellers is that we have them fill out a seller's disclosure. Now, that seller's disclosure tells the potential buyer anything that's gone on with the house since they've owned it. New roof, new hot water heater, AC been repaired. These things right here help and ease the mind of the buyer when they get ready to make an offer. If they know exactly what's going on, because basically the seller's selling the house as is. So once the buyer signs on a dotted line, it's his house. That's the reason why buyers always do a home inspection before they actually go through the final stages of buying the home. So, we got to get to know the buyer. Obviously, we'll let the seller know who's coming in the door, making sure they're pre-approved, making sure the contract is complete. Our agents have been fully educated on that aspect of it, and we have a transaction coordinator that goes through that processing to make sure the contract is complete. More importantly, and this is our specialty, we make sure that the seller's got a place to go, either buy another home or they're moving to another location. So the day that they move out, they're going to somewhere else where they belong. After the break, let's talk about our featured listing of the week, our buyers in waiting program, talk a little bit about our Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty Go Serve Big mission. We'll be right back.
To schedule an appointment with Rick Kendrick to help you buy or sell your home, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Rick will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Hi, it's Jennifer Ross, and if you've been thinking about selling your home, you already know that the only agent that I would recommend to you is my friend Rick Kendrick. He's a broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty of Florida. Now, what about the listener who would love Rick to sell but doesn't want to deal with the headaches of cleaning, staging, holding open houses, and all that other stuff?
Well, Jen, we have the perfect solution. First of all, we always like to make our traditional home selling process stress-free, but for the listener who doesn't want to fix up their place, who has inherited a home, or simply wants a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make them an immediate cash offer. And for that seller to get the most amount of money for their home.
Come on, you can do that?
Absolutely, Jen. We'll come right over, appraise a home, make you a fast, fair cash offer, and close as little as 3 weeks.
Cash in your hand, hard to beat it. Call Rick Kendrick right now, 561-901-3333. That's 561-901-3333. Or visit rickhasthebuyers.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Rosemary, branch manager at Cross Country Mortgage in Boca Raton. If you're deciding which lender to trust, whether you're purchasing or refinancing, I would love the opportunity to work with you. Over my 20-year career, I've helped close to 10,000 families buy or refinance the place they call home. Despite what you're hearing about interest rates, you might be surprised at what we can do for you. Let's talk. Call or text me at 954-312-3104 or visit rosemarymortgageteam.com.
If you're ready to buy or sell your home and would like to schedule an appointment with Rick, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Now, back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, Rick Kendrick.
All right, folks, we're back. In this final segment of the show, we're going to be going through and highlighting our listings that we just brought on the market. We like to do this on a weekly basis. So listeners, if you are considering making a move or you have an interest in having your home featured on our radio show, we'd love to have that discussion. But first, let's talk about our buyers in waiting. Karey, we met about 7 buyers this past week. And listeners, just to let you know, if you're thinking about selling and you don't want that hassle of an open house or tons of showings, all these buyers have been pre-approved, ready to go. In particular, we do have a buyer who's looking in that 450 to 550 range. Pre-approved, is going to be putting 20% down, conventional loan, is looking to make a move here in the next 30 to 60 days. So if you are thinking about maybe making a move, I'd be happy to come over, take a look at your place, and if it does fit their needs, I'd be happy to set up an appointment for them to take a look at it. So just to let you know, we do have over 19,000 buyers in our database, and if you're out there considering to sell or would consider entertaining an offer from one of our buyers, just give me a call at 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. So let's get to our listings. We still have this property out in Westlake. This is a dazzling home. It's got 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, over 2,400 square feet. It is the lowest price per square foot home in Westlake. It's currently on the market for $648. It's only 2 years old. Everything's practically new. Seller is basically ready to go. So I encourage you, if you are thinking about maybe making a move out in the Westlake area, I really recommend that you take a look at this. Give me a call. I'd be happy to show it to you. Karey, we can tell that the snowbirds are starting to come in now. We have a rental that we just leased, got under contract this week. Aberdeen and Boynton. This time of the year is when we start getting the people who are looking to do winter rentals. This particular property went under contract for $10,000 a month, and they're going to be renting this for the next 7 months. So, sellers, if you're thinking about doing something like that, maybe renting it out, or you're thinking about making an investment in a property, we can provide that property to you where you can rent these out on an ongoing basis, because there are plenty of people who live up north that want to come down here and be here 3 or 4 months out of the year. We have the condo in Fort Lauderdale. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Again, this gentleman's probably spent about $100,000 for improvements to it. It's just over 1,200 square feet. It's located in Fort Lauderdale, has a great view. It's priced at $539,500. This one is ready to go. I would say, in fact, the seller is not living in the property anymore, so he's basically ready to get an offer on this property. Of course, out in Loxahatchee, we do have a property out there, brand new, ready to go, never lived in, over 2,000 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, priced at $849,000. It's a custom-built home on 1.5 acre of land. So buyers, if you're looking for something that's brand new out in the Loxahatchee with no HOAs, this is a great opportunity for you to take a look at. Our features for the week, buyers who are thinking about maybe making a move now, this is probably the best time to do it. We can show you these properties anytime you would like to take a look at it. So, Karey, tell us a little bit about the Go Serve Big mission.
Yeah, so we like to donate a portion of the income that we make off of our home sales to local charities in our area as part of our Go Serve Big mission. So this year, we have set a goal to raise $25,000 for various charities like Little Smiles and the Law Enforcement Assistance Foundation. So if you happen to be listening and you or anyone you know are considering a move, we would love the opportunity to discuss that with them.
Thank you for taking time to listen to our show today. This is Rick Kendrick with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, serving the Southeast Florida coast. Our network extends across the country and Canada. You can call me or text me at 561-901-3333. So we look forward to next week. Tune in every Sunday at 10 a.m. to 850 WFTL News Radio.
You've been listening to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with broker-owner Rick Kendrick. Heard every Sunday morning here on News Talk 850 WFTL. Rick's company name is his promise, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. To speak directly to Rick about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment, 561-901-3333, or visit rickhasthebuyers.com. And mark your calendar to join Rick again next week at the same time for the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on News Talk 850 WFTL.